Now, if you have ever had to make a big, life-changing, brave decision in your life, you will know that having a good support network around you can make all the difference. On that note, let me tell you about a charity in Wiltshire that helps women and some men affected by domestic abuse, help them get out of that situation. And at the heart of what they do, it's friendship and also music. BBC Radio Wiltshire's Kelly Morgan has been to Liddington near Swindon this weekend to visit the Sounds Like Women Cafe.
My name is Luiza Moir. I'm the founder of Sounds Like Women Music and Social Project. Music literally saved my life, right? This even is about supporting women and girls and also men who possibly were, abused. And I was 25 years, I was the victim of domestic abuse. And having music always with me as the best friend, I managed slowly, year by year, step by step, come back to myself. If you're in a very dark place, come to our cafe once a month for the cup of tea, maybe cake, maybe listen to music, and maybe you will decide then what next step you can do to help yourself. Because the good news is that your life is in your hands. We provide the care and the support you might need, but the decision is always yours.
The cafe opens on the last Saturday of every month, and today is a particularly special one because today the cafe's hosting Liddington's Community Day. Here to kick off proceedings is South Swindon MP and former Secretary of State for Justice, Robert Buckland.
It's a great honour to be here to formally open today's Community Day. Thank you very much. Thank you. It's all about bringing people together and to support people, especially with well-being, because let's face it, if you've been through this type of abuse, if you've been a victim, frankly, of crime, then it takes a long time to rebuild.
Get a train to the city.
Harmony Asia is 19 from Chippenham and is one of the newest artists to join the Sounds Like Women community.
Well, this is the first gig first event I've actually come to, and it's been amazing, and I'll definitely be hopefully doing more.
And what drew you in here in the first instance?
Well, I did a gig for Can Do for the Unlock Reset Festival in Chippenham, and it sounds like the women there, they were just amazing. They told me a bit about what they were doing, and it's just I kind of had to because it's such a great cause, and it's so amazing to I love doing music regardless, but especially when you're doing it for something that is as great as this, it makes it that much more rewarding.
And there's just so much in the news, isn't there, at the moment, specifically about violence against women. Obviously, domestic abuse impacts on men too, but what are the answers? You're a young woman yourself in Wiltshire. How do you feel about all these sorts of issues?
It's scary, especially especially because I work in a pub as well, so walking home and when it's dark sometimes is a bit... But it just, hopefully at some point we'll get to a place where that's completely fine. But there's been lots of issues for me, and it's most women that I know. Something has happened, so charities like this that are helping towards that, it's needed.
So why is my bed it's not enough for you? After the things.
Just a small insight into Sounds Like Women, and each day this week we're taking a trip to the Sounds Like Women Cafe. It opens on the last Saturday of each month at Liddington Village Hall, and it aims to empower women and girls through music. It's a community cafe, and it's open for everybody, for tea, cake and music, but it's also a place where if you need, you can find support for help with domestic abuse and hopefully find a network of people that can help you get out of that situation. Galvanised by her experiences of domestic abuse at the hands of her ex-partner 25 years ago, Louisa Moyer founded the cafe with the ultimate aim of using music to heal people.
Having music always with me, I managed slowly, year by year, step by step, come back to myself and rebuild who I always was.
You rediscovered your voice through your music, and now you're offering that opportunity to other victims of domestic abuse?
Yes, after years of my sort of recovery through music, I kind of started thinking that if music helped me, then perhaps I can do the same with other people. This is why now I'm becoming a music therapist at the university in Bristol. So, because I want to know what's actually going on behind this all.
Well, tell me, teach me, what is it about music that unlocks people?
It's a primal connection, because before we talk, we sing. It's scientifically proven that the primal communication between toddler and mother, they put in the music score. That actually is a music score. So if we are born musical, very musical, music can change, reset our mind, our emotions. So this is very deep, and that's why I said that we sing before we talk.
So music takes us literally back to our roots, back to the very start of us, so we can begin again.
Yeah, we can begin again, we can begin communicate again, we can reset things within our body, mind and spirit from the beginning through the music.
And I'm really intrigued as well about the international flavour of the music that runs through the Sounds Like Women Cafe. Talk to me about this.
Well, international first, because I am not British. I'm Polish. I was born in Poland, but also I'm connected with many different musicians from different parts of the world, such as France, Spain, Poland, Sweden, Scotland. So we're from all over, from Turkey as well. Being part of Sounds Like Women, the importance of speaking about domestic abuse through music internationally, because it's not just British problem. It's a problem all over the world. And all over the world, people connected through music can really help each other to minimize the violence against women, but also against each other. And we need to sort of unite through the music. That's what I always knew. And try to minimize, try to be good, kind for each other. This is so easy, really. You know, kindness is for free.
Well, tell us how it works then. The Sounds Like Women Cafe runs on the last Saturday every month. Tell us about how people can get involved, find out a little bit more, access the workshops if they feel they're in need, or just come for a nice cup of tea and cake.
Yeah, well, just because I'm a massive fan of tea, that's also part of the invention, if you like, of Monthly Cafe. Because I always thought that when I've got teapot and my tea, then I can focus and rethink things through. And I thought, like, okay, what if anybody doesn't know what to do because it's in a difficult situation, whether abused by partner or generally feels not right? What if someone can just come to our cafe and start from that cup of tea or cup of coffee and maybe a little cake, maybe listen to music, and maybe that will tell you what to do to help yourself. Because the good news is that your life is in your hands. We provide the care and the support you might need, but the decision is always yours.
I think that's a wonderful idea, isn't it? That's Luiza Moir, who founded and continues to run the Sounds Like Women Cafe. As you've heard, that opens on the last Saturday of each month at Liddington Village Hall and aims to empower women and girls through music. It's a community cafe, open to everybody. There's tea, there's cake, there's music. And the idea is to try to give women and girls the space to hopefully improve their lives and get themselves safe from abusive relationships. Tracy Graham is the Swindon Domestic Abuse Support Services Chief Ambassador. She volunteers at the Sounds Like Women Cafe as well to offer an ear and help to anybody in need. Tracy is really open about her awful experience, which she explained to our reporter, Kelly Morgan.
3 years ago, I found myself a victim of serious domestic abuse. It was physical, mental and emotional. I got out of the relationship and, I was safe, but I needed to rebuild myself because after what happened, it was like my soul had left my body. I was a complete broken woman. I was a complete shell and I was too scared to even speak, let alone have an opinion. Swindon Domestic Abuse Support Service saved my life without a doubt, but it was Sounds Like Women that changed my life. I met Louisa, I did the free music workshops and it took a little while actually for her to get a sound from me. She helped build my confidence, and got me singing. I've always loved music. I've always loved to sing. I'm not the greatest singer, but it's so therapeutic.
Incredible journey, and so much has changed for you. Tell me what it is like to have lost your voice, let me rephrase that, to have your voice taken away from you and then to have it back, not only have it back, but now use your voice to help others.
It's been a hard journey, incredibly hard journey, but actually it's very liberating now. When I was a broken woman and I had no voice, had no opinion, I had no self-worth, and in fact, I don't mind admitting that post the abuse, I was suicidal. And that just goes to show the damage that it does and it causes. Now, not only do I have my voice and my opinion and my self-confidence back, but I'm actually a stronger person than I was before. I found an inner strength in me. I want to say to people that they've got that fight within them as well. I'm nothing special, but everybody's got that within them to do the same, to pick themselves up and carry on.
And during your recovery, you made a very, very brave decision.
I did. SWA approached me and asked me would I make a film about my abuse and my journey. I decided to waive my anonymity and go public, and for the first time I didn't change my name, I didn't change my voice, and I showed my face on camera, and I sat and I said I was a victim of rape. As hard as it is to watch and as hard as it is to hear, I did it to help others, to remove the stigma and to show that you can go through something horrific like that and you can still come out of it. And rape shouldn't be a stigma.
That's Tracy Graham, who's one of the volunteers at the Sounds Like Women Cafe. If popping along to the cafe isn't possible for you, Tracy has given us some top safety tips.
First off, if they are in abuse right now and they don't feel safe, they can dial 999. And if they're unable to speak and they've just got their phone somewhere and they're hiding the phone, press 55 on the handset, and that lets the call operator know that they need help but they're unable to speak, and automatically the police will attend. So that's a really, really good thing to know. Also, if you are in a relationship and you're unsure about your partner and you're spotting some red flags of maybe some jealousy and controlling behaviour, there is a thing called Clare's Law, where you can approach the police station and make a request for a disclosure on your partner. They look at whether they've got a criminal record or whether they've been prosecuted for domestic abuse in the past. So I always believe it's better to know. It's better to be informed. But always, in an emergency, dial 999.
Where music and friendship is at the heart. This happens every month in Liddington's Community Cafe in the Village Hall. It sounds very local, but there is an international flavour, especially with the music, and the music is key to all of this. Artists from across the world are linked with the project that aims to help empower women and girls. Our reporter Kelly Morgan has been along to the cafe to discover some of the fascinating voices involved in this very local project. Today we're going to hear from French-English singer-songwriter Hannah Featherstone, who performed at the cafe this weekend.
I'm a singer-songwriter, and I'm a pianist and a singer. I do electro pop, but today I'm just going to be doing it with just the voice and a loop station, which helps me to loop my voice over and over again, so to make a choir effect, even if it's just me and my piano. And yeah, I have a background in classical music, but also in gospel music, so it's kind of blending that more sacred approach to something more poppy.
And will you be performing in All Saints Church later?
Yeah.
That's quite atmospheric.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I like about it. When they said it was going to be in a church, I thought, it's quite nice. I'm actually used to doing that in churches every now and then, so I think it gives it a vibe somehow, and something peaceful that I think is always, it adds to it. Yeah.
You tap into your extra gospel today.
Exactly. I'll be doing a bit of gospel today, so yeah.
Hannah, French-English, here in Liddington in Wiltshire. How did that happen?
Well, so it's through Louisa, who is the founder of Sounds Like Women, and she contacted me through social media to be part of an international project for helping women who have been victims of abuse, helping them through music and through talking about it more openly.
And the project is all about trying to give women and girls a voice through music specifically. What is it about music that gives people voice and confidence?
I think we all underestimate the power of our voices and what we have to say, and the creativity that there is in the voice, and how it taps into our bodies as well. So it's something that I've liked to explore as well through workshops with lots of people who think they have nothing to say or no sound to produce, but when you strip it back to silence, there's always something that comes out.
And music itself, when people perhaps who've maybe, like you say, don't feel like they've really got a voice or don't feel they've got anything to give, when they discover that they perhaps do, does that unlock them in other areas to be able to actually talk?
I mean, I remember actually doing a workshop with a group of, it was men and women actually. One of them, so we were just improvising with the voice, and I could just sense that she was getting very emotional. But she didn't want to talk about it, and that was absolutely fine. And I think that's when music is powerful, is that you don't necessarily need to talk about it at the time, because it was just making improvisation with sounds and things like that. And it's just at the end of it, I think it was a few hours later that I just sat with her and we were able to talk about it, and it was a question of abuse. But it's just that possibility of keeping it for yourself if it's something that's too raw, but also maybe making you aware of the pain through music. Because sometimes I feel like we need to tap into that a bit more. Sometimes music is there for entertainment and glossing things over, but I'd like the idea of music that doesn't gloss over, but makes you tap into that pain and bring it out and bring you into a more hopeful state.
That is Hannah Featherstone speaking with BBC Radio Wiltshire's Kelly Morgan.
The man in the kitchen alongside a heap of dedicated volunteers is Louisa's husband Colin, and he's been having a chat with our reporter Kelly Morgan.
I'm still an adrenaline junkie at heart, but I also enjoy cooking, baking, and I guess that's why I got the whole cafe piece.
Every good cafe has got to have good food, and cake is a big part. Cake and tea is a big part of the cafe. So tell us about your wares.
Yeah, I think everything has to be cooked with passion, right? So and you can tell when you go into any restaurant, if someone really cares.
So what are the favourites at the cafe then?
We've been really lucky this time, a good selection of cakes. They've been supported a lot from the Polish delicatessen, and I have to say, married to a Polish woman and Polish food, it does change your view on things, and their use of less sugar, better ingredients. We tend to be a very sweet nation, as I say. But I make everything from. I've made some good cakes here, all organic. Some are almond flour, so we bake a little bit different. Right,
so we've walked down from the church grounds into the village hall, and here we have Colin's Cakes. I'm going to call it Colin's Cakes. Talk me through.
Well, we've got, what have we got today? We've got everything. Coffee and walnut, we've got crunchy raspberry cake, royal fudge cheesecake, carrot cake, oh my God, Snickers cake today, vanilla cheesecake.
This is good stuff. It sounds like Women's Cafe is obviously a place for people to come from the community, just enjoy good food, good music, good connections with others, but also for those who really need a bit of extra support.
It's about how to connect with people. The music, to me, and that's Louisa's key, and that's a key just to help everyone really try and relax, find a space. Just try and get someone that's coming along and maybe having a difficult time. And let's be honest, the last 18 months, I would say every one of us has been challenged in one way, shape or form, just showing a bit of empathy and understanding. And it's difficult as a man, if somebody, woman being challenged or a man's been challenged, for a man to admit that he's having issues, that he's been bullied, that he's been under, control in a way. And everyone sees control in a different way, but when it's explained to you, you kind of realise that maybe you've been through that. It is difficult. I've got so many friends, and they sounds like women, original ones that came to us, and they all suddenly realised that, there are some decent guys in the world, and, and that's important. I keep a distance as much as you can until they feel that they trust you. And, because, some of their stories are just, bring you to tears, and I mean, as a man, it sickens me, to be honest with you, that this is still going on. So, hey, we try our best, There's always somebody here to listen, and And if nothing else, just come for a good food, good cakes, you know, which is a key.
Colin Moir from the Sounds Like Women Cafe in Liddington, speaking to us at BBC Radio Wiltshire.